So my name is Sean Hampton. I'm the writer, producer, director of Tomino's Hell. And this has been one of the most interesting projects I've ever worked on, just because it takes away all of the rules that you've learned in filmmaking and puts you right back at the beginning. If you give me any sort of modern camera, I can pretty much tell you how to shoot something, how much it's going to cost, who you need to get. But for VR, the entire slate is wiped clean. And you have to go back to the beginning. You need a new DP who can look at things differently. You need new writers who understand how to direct the flow of a story, because in VR it's way different than film. You don't have the cuts, you don't have the retakes. You only have single wide shots. And everything has to be caught in that one shot. So you need a writer who understands how to flow action. You need producers who understand the changing nature of the medium and how to get working professionals that can adapt. If I was going to go back, let's say, to the beginning of this project and give myself advice, I would say that for VR, preparation is key. Every single department has to be run through their paces multiple times, way more than on film, because everything has to be perfect in that first take.
My name is Jet Jansen. I'm the co-writer, director, and producer of the first ever 180 VR horror series. Some of the things I learned, for producing, I learned that it's very important, the prep work. Everything you do before actually shooting is 10 times more important when you get in there for virtual reality, because you have less options in virtual reality. You can't get a lot of, and same thing for directing, you can't just get a lot of angles. There isn't a lot of fix it in post, right? So whatever decisions, whatever challenges you're gonna come up against, it's important that you come up against those things before you have 30 people on set looking at you with deer in the headlights. Directing wise, it's important to find people that have good acting chops, because if your acting is bad, it's worse in VR because the person is now sitting in the room with you acting poorly. So we looked at a lot of theater actors. We looked at people that could do longer takes. Also, we looked at people that did a lot of if you did smaller independent stuff, you're used to the longer takes, you're used to moving fast, and that's important for VR as well. Writing it was also a challenge, because you have to write knowing that we have those virtual reality. They're not limitations, I guess they're opportunities, right? So we went with the found footage just to be different, but also it explains why there's a camera there. Advice that I would give anybody that's either a writer or a producer or someone directing, I would say that the rules of traditional storytelling, of modern storytelling, don't really work as much, but the original rules of filmmaking and storytelling, the rules, we used George Méliès effects on this. We used a lot of techniques from the 50s. Short oneers where you use blocking to tell a story, because you can't get the coverage, right? You can't get the over the shoulder. You can't get the insert shots, but you could block it how you would do it, how they used to do it in television from the 50s. So that's probably what the advice I would give to somebody working in the field of virtual reality. Also, keep a cool head and calm, stay calm.